Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and it is the last day of 2021, and I am going to celebrate that with a design team project with Birch Press Design. For today's project, we are going to focus on the Interlock Frame Die. Now, make sure you go to their website. There is a sale, at least at the time that I filmed this, which was on the 30th, so make sure you go check this out. This is really at a great price. This is an extremely fine detailed die. So I'm actually, yes, you are seeing it for the first time. I am going to use a full sheet adhesive. So I'm using some Stick It. Yeah. Again, first time I'm using this. Now, for those of you that have been here for a while, you know when I use these intricate dies, I always say, yeah, I forgot to use my full sheet of adhesive. Yeah, not today. But yeah, so what I found was I used the principles and the techniques that Jennifer McGuire showed, which, yep, work. You just fold up this paper, you lay down your paper, flip that back over, pull back the next sheet, put your paper down, and then cut around it. That works beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. Yay. Now, what I had to do was mark the side that had the double-sided adhesive on it. Because if I didn't, I would have die cut the wrong side. I'm just saying, when they do things like that, it would be awesome if they would make it a different color or do what Altenew did and put a print on it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I marked it. Now here, this is how intricate this die is. So these center panels that are coming down are not connected except to the two sides, top and bottom. So they are flimsy, they will bend and move a lot. I only put adhesive on 2 of the panels, and I cut this 3 times so that it would have some dimension to it. Because I knew for the last one to go down onto my panel, I wanted to use glue, liquid adhesive, because it's kind of my go-to. Ran that through my die cutting machine and it went through like a charm. I'm using the stamp and die set called Contempo Christmas Greetings, and I'm using that big Be Merry. I love this set because there is a sentiment on there that is great, and I think it says, "Oh gosh, by golly." Which I think is a great sentiment. Reminds me of a song. So I'm going to put this in my stamp positioning tool. I will use my clear ink, and I'm going to use silver embossing powder. Now, I set that aside because I wasn't quite sure what color I was going to do. Because this is so fine, you could simply just put this onto a white panel and it would give you a texture on the background. Which is what I was originally going to do, but I wanted to add some color. And since I was using a Christmas sentiment or a holiday sentiment, I just wanted to give that feel. Now, this die, this probably is not the die that I should have used these adhesive sheets first, but it's perfect for it at the same time. There was just a lot going on with this, so you had to put it together in pieces to make sure that you were lined up. What I will say is, if you're off a little bit lining up your die pieces, you can pull this apart easily. It doesn't tug at the paper. So you don't have, I had a concern that I was going to tear this paper to separate it again. It's not until you really press it down that it does adhere. So that statement that she always makes is very true. I grabbed about 5 or 6 different colors out of the Stormy Blues Memory Box 6x6 cardstock paper pad, and I'm cutting 3 1/4 inch strips by 6 inches. I have a panel here that's cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to tape that down onto my glass mat, and I'm going to use my Nuvo liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to line these strips up going straight up this panel. Now I'm using 2 of the darkest, and I'm going to use 2 of the lightest. I want more of the dark on this, so I put those up a little bit higher onto the cardstock so more would show. and then I'll have less of the lighter. But I didn't want to find 2 other colors with this. I really liked the colors that I chose for this. Once I have that pressed down, I'll use my paper creaser just to add a little bit more weight to it. And then I'll just fold it over that piece of tape. And now I'm going to cut along the side. Now this is actually the second panel that I did, because I didn't hit the record button when I did the first panel. So now through magic, you're going to see the panel put together. So those white panels were stuck together and then glued using liquid adhesive to put on top. I did use a little bit of the Desiree K white pigment ink to go around the edge to give it that frosty look, since this is going to look like a window, and there through Video Magic, that's what this looks like. So it does give a great design. It is a great die. This would be great on those full-size shaker cards that I have seen that I'm just dying to try in 2022. I have so many new things that are going to be coming out, and I do have a great announcement that will be made in the year 2022 as well. I am extremely excited over this. So I did my stamping of the sentiment with my Simon Says clear ink. I did have a little bit of area that I missed down there. That's not a problem. I'm going to heat set this. Since I didn't remove the stamp from my stamp positioning tool, I will be able to put this cardstock right back into that corner. I am going to use one of my magnets this time because it is warped a little bit from the heat, and I'm going to re-ink it and then press that down, and then that's just going to give me another layer, but it will complete that circle to make it smooth. Again, I will heat set that so that until that is all melted. And then there is a die set that matches and that is coordinating to this stamp set. It is sold separately. And I'm going to use my Spellbinders tape to tape that down, run that through my die cutting machine, and I'm going to use my double-sided foam dots here to put this right up onto my card panel towards the top in the center. Now, with these designs that we have here, and since we did 3 layers, we've got some great dimension. I am going to pull out some of my Open Studios Fairy Sugar glitter drops. I always check them now. If those of you are curious as to why, always check your drops, whether it's Nuvo drops, whether it's Stickles, because they could be jammed. And to understand what I'm saying, please go check out day 15 of my Christmas series and to see what happens. Yes, I kept it in there and warned everybody. But it was literally a burst. The entire bottle just burst open. Yep, across the project as well. So I chose only a few areas to fill in. I squeezed a little bit of this lavender ice, but it's got this iridescent blue, so I thought it really matched. And I'm coming in with a pin just to fill that in because it's not liquid. You know, it's got a lot of glitter in there, so, you know, it will hold its shape. I really like these glitters along with Stickles, so they are a great comparison. Now I'm going to come in with the glossy accents. I won't have to use a pen, or excuse me, a pin to fill in those areas because the glossy accent is a little bit more smoother when it comes out of the bottle. To make sure my glossy accents does not clog up off to the side, I tap it down onto a table and then just push on it to make sure air is coming out. So I do hope you enjoyed today's project. Today is December 31st. I hope everyone had a wonderful 2021. It was still challenging for everyone as we continue through our journey. And I'm sure the 2022, we will have more adventures as well. So stay positive. By all means, keep smiling. And as always, all the products that I used will be listed down below. I do encourage you to go to the Birch Press Design website because they are having a sale. I believe it is still going on today, but make sure you check that out. If you have any questions, leave those down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Everyone have a wonderful new year. Enjoy the celebration. Have fun. Smile. Remember, enjoy this process. Don't stress over it, but always remember what's most important. Always be creative. See you in 2022, everyone. Take care.